My name is Jon Hokanson, and the business is Standard Scaffold Inc. And we are in the business of renting, erecting, and dismantling scaffolding for commercial and industrial projects. The company got started with these sort of 4 jobs to do, and we went out and did them, and we did them successfully enough that led to more work, and that was really something. We then sort of found ourselves faced with the prospect of executing a couple of bigger contracts, one in particular, and we had to go for financing. It was not something that I could finance out of my own pocket, and that created an emergency. So my needs were, very simply, to have a business plan that the bank would take seriously, something that explained the circumstances of the company, why the company needed the money, and why it thought it could pay back the loan. And the bank told us that. They said, before we'll talk to you, we need to see what your business plan is. And I'll tell you what, I went online and I got a bunch of sample business plans and printed them off and read them, and I started trying to write something that made sense, and I found myself stumbling over and over and over. Essentially what you're doing with the business plan is you're telling the bank a story, and you're telling it before it's taken place. And I don't mean to say you're lying to them in any sense of the word, but what you're doing is a business plan is saying this is what's happening, and this is why you'll benefit from it. And so they need to see a sort of a comprehensive picture. And no matter how I tried, I wasn't painting that picture as well as I could have. When you guys came in with the interviews, the interview process in and of itself was very helpful in outlining what the story was. It helped me understand better what my own story was. And of course you guys tailor-made your plans exactly to whatever it was that your client is doing. We did the whole thing in under 10 days. It was pretty damn quick. Yeah, I think if I remember right, it was 9 or 10 days. The project manager simply kept pulling information out of me. The interview process just drew everything out that was needed to build the plan, and then spit back at me a rough draft and said, "Here you go. What can you do with this? What needs changing? What can we add to it? What can we take from it?" They really had it down to a science. Really, it was fast-moving, iterative process, and I quite liked it. Your staff was very friendly and readily available. If I had and this did happen. I mean, if I had a thought of some interview question that I hadn't caught during the interview, I'd spit it out in an email, and a few minutes later I'd get a response. "Got it, thank you, we'll add that in." And they were really a treat to work with. If all my suppliers were that responsive, my business would be a lot easier. There was one thing worth mentioning about what you guys did, and that was you did a great deal of due diligence on the industry, on my customers and my competitors, and I read it fairly thoroughly, and I wasn't expecting to find anything particularly interesting or new, but I did. I discovered that somebody that I know personally as a family friend sat on the board of directors of a potentially large client, frankly, that bit of information alone, I wouldn't have found that out if I hadn't seen it in writing. That bit of information alone was worth the fee, if you can believe that.